Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this, but in fact it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
G'day everyone, and welcome to a new game for our little community here. This is The Police, is the name of this game, and This is The Police is a strategy adventure game set in a city spiraling down the drain. Taking the role of gritty police chief Jack Boyd, you'll dive deep into the story of crime and intrigue. Will Jack reach his retirement with a nice stack of bills, or will he end up broken or worse? In this game you have to manage your staff, respond to emergencies and investigate crimes. In a city on the brink of chaos, the mafia underworld maneuvers behind the scenes, sinking their claws ever deeper into the city, even as the mayor is ready to exploit every situation to his political advantage. So that's the basic premise of this game, and we're going to dive straight into a new game, and let's go through. There's a lot of cutscenes at the beginning that we'll go through, and viewer discretion is advised if you are under the age of 18, because there are the occasional swear word and other adult themes in this game. So, without further ado, each morning you get your newspapers, where apparently City Hall has confirmed rumours of Jack Boyd's, and that's our character's, resignation. Mayor Rogers is apparently a sex maniac. Mark War II to be shown in Freeburg the day before the worldwide premiere by the mayor's personal request. So basically we don't have to, there's nothing we can do on this table. We are going to go to work, and when we get to work we'll have to go through a press conference and pick a number of dialogue options. So let's sit back and enjoy this early part of the game.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same: play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
Alrighty. So, now we get to take part in the press conference. Here's our lovely press gallery, full of interesting folks, cameras, blah blah blah. So, let's do the right thing and say good morning. And the first question is, apparently yesterday the mayor's office officially announced your resignation. Did this come as a surprise to you, or did you know about it in advance? I'm not a huge fan of the press, so I'm just going to go back to them with blind indifference. Alright, next question. Do you already know the name of your successor? I don't care. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy Francis Kendrick said he was looking forward to resigning. If the mayor offered him your position, would that change his mind? Maybe they're in cahoots with the aliens. Haha. Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? How should I know? You'd better ask him. Thank you. Alright, press conference over. Now we're heading to our office.
Back today, Mr. Boyd.
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick.
There we go. We get some back pills out, so we've got a bit of a back complaint. 3 back pills, must be a bad day. And sparking up a stogie, nice. And we've got a visitor.
As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt. and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon.
All right.
180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man.
I'll do my best.
And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
Alrighty, so we've just given the mayor's personal assistant a spray, and there you go. So, head of culture department owns villa in Italy. Jack Boyd believes feud with mayor led to his resignation. Well, I never actually said that. Cleanliness of the city, streets increased by 20%. That is a good thing. Alright, so that's the first day cutscenes out of the way. Now we're going to wander on into the office and see what day 2 brings for us.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Alrighty, so that was our deputy, and here we go, we've got our tutorial. So we'll go through the tutorial because this is the first time we've done this. So and that way you guys can all see how this all works. Alright, show me what you've got. Alright, Freeburg Police Department organises upcoming work assignments into shifts for days. For today and tomorrow. Every shift, officers respond to crimes in progress and detectives continue their investigations. You can freely move employees between shifts. Alright, all officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. They like beer, stamina bar, their rank, and their professionalism number. So, professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of your policemen and women. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considerably higher than average are a safe bet even in a pinch. An individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career. Alright. Energy shows how tired they are. So it's this bar here. They get 1 point back for every day of rest, and every day they work, they lose 1 point. Alright. And some hidden characteristics. Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they can think of to take a day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behaviour of employees. Alright, so here is B shift, our shift for today. We'll go through we're on. We've got Koshi, 250 rank rated employee. Yancy, he's 220, so they're very reliable. Purdy's 210, very good. Tsubaki, she is 120, which is not too bad. And Asano is 100, so they're probably our, they're sort of our A team. We've got Austin and Price. Austin's a 90, so she's got plenty of potential. Unfortunately, I think Price is just about ready to retire. And then we've got our detectives. We've got Mole, who's an average detective, or Malay, depending on how you want to pronounce that. Detective DeBrito, he looks old school, like he's just come out of one of those 90s detective shows, like In the Dark of the Night. And Armstrong, who, both of these guys could use a bit of work to get their points up. But hopefully we'll get to use them at some point. So let's start the day. Alright, so here's our map of the city that our beautiful mayor stubbed our cigar out in. So basically calls will come up on here and we have to answer them. And there you go. As they come up, we assign people. There's a call. The Everyday Mall. So there's 15 seconds. 15 seconds to click on it, basically, is the whole idea of that call. So you click on it, timer stops, everything pauses. So the easiest way to determine how difficult a task might be is to check how many units you're allowed to send. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat. So here we go, we can send 2 officers to this one. Occasionally we might be able to send SWAT, which is cool. Proceed. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on. All of this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. A mission might look simple at first glance until it turns into a brutal meat grinder, or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. So, hit and run. A married couple exited a convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot back over a homeless gentleman who'd been digging through a trash can. The driver jumped out to help, but once he saw that he'd hit a homeless person, he got back in the van and quickly drove away, which is a pretty dick move. So, close that. Alright, so let's assign some folks to this one. So I'm going to send Purdy, and I'm going to send Austin. I would really like to get her stats up, if possible. And I'm going to really try hard not to use Price if I can avoid it. Because she appears to be a liability. Alright, so let's proceed. So they'll shoot off through the city down to here now. And then we await our second call of the day. Here we go, last picture show theatre. So we've got 27, 25. We click on that. Alright. A theatre manager reports that during a showing of Citizen Kane, a drunk man attempted to force his way into the theatre carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with the theatre's security guard. Excellent. So I'm going to send Yancy and Asano to this one. So I'd send her with a nice responsible officer, and I want to get Asano's stats up. So they can go. So they'll take off now from the police station and head over here to the theatre, which is good. And our first guys are just arriving at their first call, and we've got a storm happening. Reporting a hit and run. When everything goes well, the police capture the criminal and nobody dies. But the truth is, sometimes the criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster, and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than living ones. Alright, we caught the offender. So they get a 10-point buff to their stats, which is what I was hoping for there. So that was a good result. So close that. And then they start heading back to the police station to be used again. So our second unit that we sent out is about to arrive at their crime. Here we go. Report from the fight. And another offender caught. That's good. Back-to-back arrests. Some points buffs. That's what we like to see in downtown Freeburg. Alright, let's continue. Alright, armed robbery out in the burbs. So let's grab this. It's an armed robbery. We can send 2 people to this one. Actually, I think we might wait on that one. Let's look at this one first. Okay. A brother and sister clashed with each other over their deceased father's will. According to one of the lawyers, we don't dare separate them, and our security guard is off duty tonight. Alright, so I'm going to send our 2. I think these 2 can handle that, because that's not a hardcore case. Proceed. Okay, everyone else back. I would like to probably send both of these guys, because this sounds quite... Alright, let's proceed with that. We should get 2 more back here. Here we go. Good. We've got Yancy Asano back. These guys are heading out. We've got another... Alright. Passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician and run away with his guitar and money. Alright. I'll send all 3 to that one. Proceed. So we've got everyone out now. If we get another job, we're going to have to... Alright. Report on the fight. Excellent. Offenders caught. That's a good result. They're on their way back, so we'll have 2 cops to do some work.
We've got a situation.
Alright. Armed robbery. We have a situation. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you and ask you to handle the situation. Try to deal with whatever comes up, but don't waste all your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. So let's proceed. Alright. Let's knock on the door and announce the fact that the police are here. And we caught the offenders, and that's a good result. Buffed up our 2 of our really good cops. And close that. They're on their way back. These guys are on the way out to the ghetto. That's good. Things are looking good. Good. They've arrived.
412A.
Report on the assault. Oh, the offender escaped. Bugger. So we lose 10 points if they get away. The officers are unharmed, so that's a good result. I've got a feeling it's due to the fact that we sent Price. I need to get rid of her. They're all on their way back. Good. Good. We'll have a full... As you can see as they get closer. And that is the end of the day. So we'll wait for everyone to get back and end the day. Alright, if you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime. But if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Somebody's bound to make a mistake. Alright, so let's have a look at... Here we go. Shift A... Sorry, Shift B did a good job. They all need a day off. Let's have a look at Shift A. See who we've got coming in. Alright, so... we've got a lot of bushwhackers on this... Oh, we've got a father and son combination here. Neither of them appear to be very good police persons. So I'm kind of tempted to ask Purdy to come in and might do is okay, you can't I was hoping I could send him to shift. Okay, so you can't trade them between shifts. That's alright, we've got a little bit of extra experience on this team now, which is good. Alright, okay, I can work with that. Alright, we'll call an end to the day there. And
used to be, when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years, he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point, every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand. Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
Alright. So that's the end of day 2. We've done some cases, done all the good things. Okay. Here is our papers. Francis Kendrick has announced his retirement date. Construction of Cinema Museum postponed again. And legendary singer Gennaro Crespo is coming to Freeburg. Or has come to Freeburg. So, excuse me. Kendrick's setting us up with his quasi-legal contacts to hopefully help us make our $500,000 in 180 days, which is basically the goal of this game. So yeah, and I'm going to leave it here. When we come back, we'll dive straight into day 3 and see how Shift A goes. And I'd like to thank you all for joining me. And if you liked this video, please thumbs up. Comments down below, it would be greatly appreciated. Love your comments, feedback, thoughts, all that good stuff. And if you're new, please, feel free to subscribe, because there'll be more. And if you like this, there'll be more videos coming of it. Yeah. So anyway, thanks again for joining us, and laters.